Okay, guys, hello, my friends, back again. And sorry, I have COVID still. Um, anyway, uh, we are currently flying to Tromsø airport, and uh, what is important, we are going to talk about turbulence, okay? How we deal on Boeing 737 with turbulence. So first of all, we need to know what the turbulence exactly is, okay? We have few different types of turbulence. One turbulence should be from the clouds, okay? So if you can see the cumulus clouds in front of you, like type cumulus, cumulus congestus, or cumulus nimbus, you have to at least you have to avoid the last two, okay? So you can fly into the cumulus cloud, but you have to avoid cumulus congestus and cumulonimbus. But if you are weather radar on board workable, you can easily see that in these clouds there is presented the heavy rain shower area, okay? So this is the one turbulence, okay? Another turbulence is so-called clear air turbulence. This turbulence is basically creating when one air mass is let's say crashing to another air mass, okay? So it should be near the frontal system, it should be around the jet stream, for example, because if you have jet stream, within the jet stream you have no turbulence basically, but the most of the turbulence, really hard turbulence, it's around the jet stream. So that means that it should be 50 feet below 5,000 feet below, 5,000 feet above, or let's say a few miles on the sides, okay? So basically this is the clear air turbulence area, and it means one air mass is going to catch the another mass. And what I would like to depict is that this type of turbulence is something which is very unpleasant and very uncomfortable, and it's some pilots call that this is the most critical turbulence while on flight, okay? So this is clear air turbulence. Now we have turbulence which are basically let's say we have called it mechanical turbulence, and it is depicted, or let's say it is creating where the air is blowing through the mountains and hill terrains, and created so-called gust conditions and wind chill conditions and so on, and it's really annoying. And if you have for example sign of wind shear, so that means that you have to press toga, make it go around, and do not change the airplane configuration until you are stabilized. So that means no gear up, no flaps up, basically keep airplane attitude as long as you are, as long as the wind shear is not presented. Sometimes you have heard about the downdrafts. Downdrafts are a special type of turbulence which is as well caused from mechanical turbulence. So that means that it is most common on Greece island or Adriatic. Because it is created by the fan. It's type of the wind which is blowing from the hills up to the sea, and now in this area on short final you have suddenly downdraft and wind shear warning. But in most of these airports the wind shear warning are no longer no longer presented because it's going from the side. Okay, so for example, let's say as an example, Dubrovnik Airport. Dubrovnik Airport is quite good airport. It's perfect. It's okay, but as you can see, the runway is parallel to the hill, which is on the left side or the right side, depends which runway is in use. And then you can encounter the wind shear from the left or right side, okay? But it's a non-predictable wind shear, so you have to be prepared. I'm talking about the real life, okay? And another downdrafts, it's basically the downwind side of the cumulonimbus clouds, or cumulus congestus clouds, because on this side there are prevailing downstream wind conditions, and they are making the turbulence. Another turbulence is wake turbulence. Some of the pilots, which I have never in all my career, I will never fall into the wake turbulence. So that's why we have the separation minimums between light and medium from heavy, and so on. And it's depicted by the time and by the or let's say nautical miles. Depends on procedural air traffic controller or radar air traffic controller. But anyway, this turbulence is some pilots who really know what I'm talking right now about prove that this is the worst turbulence they have ever met. Okay, and now as you can see on the chart, the turbulence should be part of your pre-flight briefing. I will start it with this now. So you have to tell the cabin crew that okay, we have as you can see, we have from moderate to severe turbulence expected overhead, for example, overhead Trondheim airport when we're overflying this airport. So be aware of this fact and make your services, meals and everything with a way that it should suddenly something happens. Okay, so they are prepared, the cabin crew are prepared. It is part of the training. Okay, that's why we are MCC, we absolve the CRM training, and we should really care about the situation. Okay, so and now the first part is how we deal with the turbulence. Okay, so we have three types of turbulence. The first type is the light turbulence. Okay, and in Boeing 737, if we have light turbulence, that means that nothing is changing right now. Okay, right now, as you can see, it's a little bit turbulent. Okay, so yeah, it's bumpy. It's unpleasant, as you can see, the wing flags, everything. So if we are flying into this turbulence, we just put the fasten belts to on position. This is the sign for cabin crew to put all things back into the galleys and sit down on the jump seat and wait until we are no longer, or let's say there is no longer turbulence presented, and we release them, and if they can see this sign that we released the cabin via seatbelts signed to auto position, they can do the job as before. Okay, and now what if we encounter the moderate turbulence? The moderate turbulence, it's quite a problem. It's quite a problematic. So what we can do? We put the fasten belts to on position. This is the first one. We put start switches to continuous. Okay. Via passenger address system here, we have announcement to the cabin that cabin crew is seated. different companies has different procedures. Last company I flew for, we have the call sign for cabin crew be seated. What does it mean? That all the job they are doing, they leave everything behind and they are going and sit down. Okay, and then we will put the altitude hold. Okay, so no V now, altitude hold, and put the turbulent penetration airspeed. That means that its limitation is 0.76. Okay, like now. If we are on a conversion, the turbulent speed is 280. Okay. What I forget, if we are encountering moderate turbulence as well, we need to put the shoulders seat belts, okay, in cockpit, because injured pilot it's useful pilot, unuseful pilot, okay. So this is the moderate turbulence. If the turbulence become severe and it's really hard to controllable, what we can do, we can put the engine start switches to flight. And what is the difference between engine start switches continuous and flight? It means that your ignition systems is working constantly regarding to the EEC on the left and right side. Because if you have it in continuous, so it will go from the right side as is depicted right over here. I will show you. Okay, it will go only right side ignition. But if you put on the flight, he will airplane will disregard the switch, and the ignition will be from going constantly from the left and the right side. Okay, and another point of view is that we disconnect the auto throttle. Okay, and now look at the cruise page and you have see turbulent penetration N1. So that means that we adjust our N1 setting into this value. Okay, so but this is here now we have some discrepancy because I don't believe this turbulent penetration N1. Okay, in real airplane it should be somewhere around your cruising. Okay, N1, because it has some integration between your MCP and 0.76. So if you can see right now, this discrepancy, and I am pretty sure it's the bug, because if I press the auto thrust manually to 90%, I will increase my turbulent penetration airspeed. So this is not true, but in a real airplane you have true numbers. Okay, so this is another step. And then put not autopilot into the command, but into the control wheel steering. Okay. And what does it mean? That you will control the airplane manually, but whatever pitch attitude or roll mode you put there, the airplane will keep it. Okay. So that's why we are putting into the control wheel steering. Okay. And now sometimes it's hard to keep the altitude, for example. Okay, so we have to tell to the ATC that we have encountering severe turbulence and we are unable to comply the altitude, whatever. So we may ask for descent, or we may ask for climb, or anything else. Okay, so okay. Once the turbulence is no longer presented, we revert it to the autopilot. Okay. We put the auto thrust setting. We can back to the VNAV. Okay. We can put start switches back to normal, to off position. We can release the passengers, and via PA another announcement for the flight crew. Cabin crew normal duties. I hope you like this video so much, and this is how we deal with the turbulence. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time soon.